wrong in your title.
It is. It's probably because Jim's high.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, you timed that perfectly. We were at 0. That was awesome.
This is what we do.
You're a professional, my friend.
You'd almost think you've done it before.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Almost.
Finally got it right after 26 times.
Hold on, I have to give you applause for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually kind of hoping to do this to you, and just to have Rebecca here because she's not joining us this week. She's off in Thailand right now. So Terry, if you could do your best Rebecca voice, that'd be great.
Oh.
Hey Jim, how are you?
And that's our show. Thanks. Whoa. Bring you back. It's scary enough.
Wow.
Welcome to the Inside, guys. We are here showing off the rails last time with Jessica Blue. That was a fun show, and I think it might fall this week too. I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm trying to find the comments to see if people are talking here. I hate to say it, but here we go. Okay, cool. Nope, something just disappeared, so I just want to make sure that things are working. Mr. Parkins in the house.
Mr. Parkins.
Tony with us as well. Welcome back.
Yeah,
Glad
Tony.
you were there, Tony. Who else got cooking with us? Andrew Ward.
Hey,
He tuned into the wrong
Ward.
show.
Oh, Lord.
Beautiful people. He's on the wrong show. Mike, I must have a shot here that I can bring you in with. Hold on a second.
Oh, God.
We need
You
more
don't need
Mike.
to.
We need.
Oh, hold on. How about that?
Wait.
Audio's back. Yeah. Damn it.
Oh,
The gummy kicked in
goodness.
early this week, and I apologize. It's
You
my
made
fault.
Really, really early.
Man, there were really funny jokes there, too, Jim. Great job. That was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was our best stuff ever. Man, you guys
And
missed
that's our
it.
show for tonight. Yeah, let's go.
Unreal. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I wonder if when we go to YouTube, it'll be there. You know, so you know what? Let's
knows?
just start the whole damn thing over. All right, and we're back. It's Terry and it's Jim. What's going on, guys? Unfortunately, we were not able to have Miss Rebecca Lee with us. She is well, there she is. She can be part of this. So, how you doing, Rebecca?
Oh,
we went through
Jim.
all this.
I'm doing
You
late.
missed it. All right, hold on a second. Let me get back to. There we go. Here we are. All right, great. Glad to have the audio back. Glad that we're back. Mike Cunningham. I spelled your name wrong, huh? Hold on a second.
You did. That's it's a
Cunningham.
cacophony of errors here. That's how we do. Oh, there we go. It's better now. This is only.
But
this is
he
only
was
2
voted the
mistakes.
most patient man, though. So
I am.
Yeah,
apparently.
see?
there's that.
I expected more out of you, not to complain so quickly about it.
I didn't
and your
complain. I was
patience.
merely pointing out your shortcomings.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for Mike Cunningham's favorite part of the show.
Oh, fuck you.
If Terry can cook it, you can too. His friends are his reason to bring food to you. Chef Briscoe Power, bringing dinner to yours and mine.
Do you recompile that every week to make it sound even worse quality? Because it's, oh my god,
I think it gets better every single time.
I
Personally,
hate
It
you.
ages well. I like how
it's
it
just like a
ages.
fine wine.
It's like a good cheese. It's more like cheese, yeah. Speaking
It's
of
definitely
cheese,
more
Terry,
cheese.
I see some cheese coming up in your. If Terry can cook it, you can
Yeah.
too. What are we making, buddy?
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you wanted to have a loaded baked potato but didn't have the time? Yes, you did. All right. So today
of course I
we've got
did.
loaded hash browns instead, and these are actually super delicious. So as you see, we got your ingredients there, minus the green onion. I know I forgot to get it. I had to run to the store to get it to make the thing. But anyway, the loaded hash browns. You need bacon, frozen hash brown patties, sour cream, spring onions or chives, and shredded cheddar cheese. And the first thing you want to do is cook that bacon. Get it nice and crispy so you can crumble it up. About 10 minutes in a broiler usually does it. Then preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Cook those hash browns for 20 minutes in a baking pan. Take that out of the oven, sprinkle it with that cheddar, and cook for another 10 minutes until the cheese is melted. Remove that from the oven and spread that sour cream over top of them. Add on your chopped spring onion and your crumbled bacon, and then you get something beautiful and delicious like that.
It's like a loaded baked potato flatbread pizza.
Yeah, it is, and it tastes really good too. I'm telling you.
I'm digging it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Mike, what do you have for tech for
doubt.
us? What's going on?
So I've got some products, and I've got to tell everybody, don't get involved in talks about certain video games and certain people taking certain roles online, because it is a wild, wild world out there. People are starting to get recast in certain things because of the strike and AI, and it is coming, and it's starting to affect people's jobs, and people are not happy about it. I wasn't happy about it, and there are some people that are not happy about us not being happy about it. So just be careful out there in those internets. As far as
So
tech,
you're not happy. Other people aren't
nobody's
happy.
happy.
People are
I
not
know.
happy about people not being happy about people not being happy.
It's crazy.
It's the bad situation, Mike.
It's crazy. I mean, it was great to get a whole lot of exposure, but it's not negative stuff. People for days just telling me I should die. It's like crazy. Anyway, technology. So
That's a missed opportunity, Terry.
we've got. I'll post some links in the chat and YouTube. I've got a really, really cool deal on an honestly decent condenser for $50. Comes with a shock mount. Comes with the pop filter built into it. We've talked about it before, but it's back on sale. The Warm Audio Skylight 512. It is honestly pretty good. And if you're gonna use it as a backup, just in an emergency, for $50, why not? It's worth just having around, even just to get the cool shock mount and the pop filter. I mean, you'd spend that much on that stuff anyway.
It is a really cool shock mount.
Yeah, it really is. It's very well built. There is an incredible deal I found on a PC for $549 coming out of B&H Photo. It's for an Acer Swift Go. It's 16 gigs of DDR5 RAMs, 512 gigs SSD, a really nice touch IPS screen. It's an Ultra 7 155H. It'll work for whatever you're doing. Even has ARC graphics, which is like the upgraded internal graphics thing that you don't have to spend all the extra money on having an NVIDIA graphics card, but it'll make it run a little nicer for a little longer. 400 nit, display for people that keep things outside of their booth and whatnot. I can't guarantee how much fan noise there's going to be, but if you're looking for a decent laptop, it is a really, really decent deal. And the last thing I got to find the tab for it. There is a deal if you have any kind of a discount, like a student discount, military, or employee pricing with Samsung. They have their T9 4 terabyte SSD, which is like their ruggedized portable SSD, has a really, really, really high transfer rate. It's going to last you a really long time. It's like $250 for the 4 terabyte version. I mean, you can put all of your failed auditions on there that you keep and never listen to. I mean, that's what I do.
Ever again.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, let's be honest. We all do that, right? I've got 85 files named the exact same thing, and then they're all just sitting on my hard drive. But I'll put that out there. There's
Jim Frog, boss, Source Connect.
There's a million different hard drives out there. I really like that. The Samsung ones are very, very good. The T7s are not as good as the T9s. The T9s have a higher rating in terms of speed. It's gonna last longer, be more worth your time, especially if you have something like a Thunderbolt 4 Mac or Thunderbolt 5, things like that. You'll be able to max out the transfer speeds. But yeah, so couple cool deals. I did find some stuff on MacBooks. They're always out there. Usually about $750 for an M2. I did see one for $1,000 or $999 for an M3 with 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 SSD. That is a pretty decent deal because they just came out with the M4s for the MacBook Air. That'll do everything you ever wanted it to do in VO for basically the rest of your career. And more. Really, really, really decent deal. They don't have fans. They're great. You can keep them in the studio. I'm a big fan. Or no fan. I don't know.
No fan.
Yeah. Anyway,
only fan.
That's what I found.
Yeah.
There's if only there was a fan, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's what I found this week. And like I said, keep your nose clean. Don't get involved unnecessarily while you're drinking whiskey and commenting on people doing dumb things.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
yeah.
See, Rebecca's gone for 1 week.
She's like, 1 week. She's like,
1
what'd you
week.
do, Mike? What'd you do, Mike? On the other side of the video game thing, Eric Carlino, a good friend of ours, he is in a video game called Frozen War, and he pointed out to me that I'm in that video game as well. And so I just found it. It's on Google. It's in your app store. It's one of those handheld shoot 'em up games. But Eric plays 2 of the main characters. We recorded that sometime last year, but it's pretty cool. I really like playing with myself in the video games.
That
God damn it!
I mean,
Jim,
it tracks.
You're really going there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know what?
You
Let's
did
just. I'm just.
Hey,
I'm just.
give him a better.
Before we go into, I'm gonna give a shout out to Heidi Smith for she sent me the program for Voiceover Atlanta when I left mine at the hotel room, and it was like the sweetest thing that anyone's ever done. And she had origami inside of it and it's personalized. No, it was the sweetest thing ever, and I really appreciate you doing that. I love our community.
I saw you post that, and I was like, you know what? I didn't take mine home either, and I probably should have. First time speaking there, but whatever. The memories.
I'll share mine
What
with
are you
you.
gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, my memories will be there till next Tuesday, so we're good to go. All right, Terry, let's just throw out the anchor now and see if we can right the ship a little bit, if you would.
All right.
Bring on our
Today's guest is an accomplished voiceover artist, on-camera actor, podcast, co-host known for his versatile vocal range and ability to bring characters to life across a variety of genres. With his deep passion for the arts, Tom has established himself as a sought-after professional in the industry, offering everything from serious narration to quirky fun characters. Beyond his acting work, he's also an expert dialect coach, helping fellow voice actors refine their accents and delivery for authentic and compelling performances. He shares his personal insights as the co-host of the Back Through the Basement podcast, where along with his sister Julie, he shares stories of of their family and childhood. He's known for his warm personality and dedication to the craft. Tom continues to make a lasting impact in the voiceover community, providing high-quality performances and invaluable mentorship. And beyond that, he's just an all-around great guy. Let's welcome tonight's guest to the inside, Tom Antonellis!
Oh, that's not you.
It's Rebecca.
It's
And she's
Rebecca.
back.
I
Yay.
screwed that up. I'm back. We haven't done the show in like a month because of Atlanta.
I would
so
have been
I'm just
happy
a
to
bit
have
rusty here,
Rebecca fill in for me.
but she's just not here. Yeah, me too. Yeah, why not? Tom, thanks for being on the show, but really glad that you're an insider, first of all. I'm really glad that you're a friend. I'm psyched that we have been able to coach together, and I can learn from you. And it's just been an incredible experience, not just on the VO side, but as a human being. You are one of the most genuine, salt of the earth, caring, open human being that I probably have ever met. And I mean that sincerely from my heart. So thank you, Tom. And
Thank you, Jim, very much. Thank you for fostering it with TMI, fostering an environment where people can come together and connect in this way by watching this, watching/listening to this podcast and engaging with each other on Facebook and your forum. And thank you for your kind words. It's a privilege to know you as well. You have a huge heart. You have a huge everything. Huge heart. Huge humor.
Did Tom
huge
just call me
voice,
fat?
Huge hugs.
Did Tom
That's
just
not what
call
he
me
was talking
fat?
about, Jim.
Huge capacity to love.
Huge tracts of land.
Really, you're just
Yes.
a great guy. And Terry,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for that beautiful introduction, both at the head of the show and just a moment ago. And it does my heart good to see when you were putting that together, because I didn't send you guys anything. So when you're putting that together, you wrote that, and I loved seeing and hearing what it was out of the experience of knowing me and knowing my work that you chose to highlight there, and what attributes you chose to celebrate in that intro. So thanks a lot, and thank you for the show, and thank you for the loaded baked potato, tater tot, flatbread, pizza patty things that I intend to try out.
All food
Dangerous.
you ever want.
Nice.
And the
Tom,
various
if you
and
would indulge
assorted
me for
sundry
once,
items that Mike has whetted my appetite about, and
if
your
you would just indulge me
hijinks
for
and
1
such.
second, Tom.
Yes.
What I want to do is I want to go to this scene here, and I want to put you up here so the four of us can actually sit here. So give me
Or I
just
could
1
just
minute
talk. I could just talk, and you could all look at Rebecca.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
a more pleasant
what we need
experience.
to have is to like further push the fact that Jim guaranteed that Tom would not be stuck in here where it was just says Rebecca Lee. And
guaranteed
it's
it
happened
so
like,
much.
it's like the second or third time it's happened already. I love it.
to. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. It looks fine to me. What are you talking
there it
about?
is.
We're good. Hey, if you guys have any comments for Tom, or if you have any questions for Tom, please put them in our chat. He's here. He's here to answer your questions. You have questions about dialects. You have questions about VO. You have questions about his podcast or anything else.
Hats.
Now, we've
He's good
trained.
about hats.
Or hats, right?
Hats.
Everybody in the room's got a hat.
You did notice
By
that,
the
huh?
way, thank you for all the kind greetings in the chat. Hello, everybody. How are you? I
You know,
love
the
Michael
insiders are
Gonzalez.
awesome.
Hey, Tom Antonellis, forget about it. How the hell are you?
That's
How
'cause
are
he
you,
does this-
Michael? How the
I'm
Christ
Because he
are
does
you?
the speak to
Listen
text
here.
thing, and so what are you
I'm
going on here,
taking
Cindy?
questions.
You know,
Yeah, Cindy's
Mike.
right.
Before we get to
this is the Brady Bunch that didn't get optioned is what you're looking at. Right?
what else do you have
Brady
going
Bunch
here?
from a
Julie,
broken
his
home, I'll tell you that
podcast
much.
is so good. You will laugh, cry, and say hum. All right, cool.
Thank you,
All right.
Julie. Julie
You know,
is a keeper.
Rachel-
That's what we call listeners to Back Through the Basement. She's a keeper. Because when we're going
Shell
through our
is-
toys and our belongings in the basement, we decided we're going to keep, sell, give away, donate. Mostly it's keeping. Julie
Right.
can attest.
You give away
All right,
nothing.
we're going to. I'm going to bring up a comment here from Shell, and Shell is one of us, Tom. She, even though she's in Portland, out in that section, the Pacific Northwest, she's definitely one of us, and she wants to know: are you ready for opening day tomorrow?
Oh, Christ! Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah,
She's
listen,
talking
kid.
about the friggin' socks, kid.
It's gonna
Listen,
Fenway
kid.
Park's gonna be freaking amazing.
We're gonna go down to Yawkey Way, and we're gonna head on over to Fenway Park and park ourselves on the Green Monster. Watch a friggin' game with the Sox, dude. It's gonna be friggin' awesome.
You're gonna get a hot dog or what, Tom? You gonna get a hot dog or what?
Oh
kid,
yeah, you're
huh?
gonna get a hot dog. I put mustard on it. No
beer,
ketchup. None
bunch
of
of
that
beers.
ketchup. Don't try and sell me any ketchup on a hot dog. That's a goddamn travesty.
None of that ketchup, Bob.
I remember the first time I went to Fenway Park with my father, or more accurately, to Fenway Park with my father.
With my father, yeah. In the car? You guys take the car? You guys
We
take
did.
the
We went in the
MTA?
car. Actually, we got in the car. We went on the T. The T. We went into Fenway Park Station. We walked.
You
over
take that
the
down to
park
Leechmere.
past Yawkey Way.
Yeah, I got you.
Did you say after you went to Leechmere?
Yeah, I got you, yeah.
What an obscure Massachusetts reference. That's friggin' yeah. Leechmere and Grover Cronin. Oh
Don't
my
forget
god.
about Caldor. Gotta go to Caldor.
Dude, we're gonna head on over to Caldor's. Oh my god, that's really funny.
Oh, they closed, man.
Nobody's
They're
gonna
now
get
Ames.
it. That's Leechmere, Grover Cronin, and Caldor's. And what's so great about all three of those stores, all of them I think are gone, is every one of them has a R-colored vowel in it, so it sounds great in a Bostonian dialect. Caldor's, Leechmere, and fucking Grover Cronin.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Got him.
so the first time I went to Fenway Park,
I'm
Park,
home.
there was this guy in the, he's selling, the people walking around, they got like a kiosk strapped to them, selling shit. And we never forgot it. We've been quoting it ever since. The guy goes, Red Sox yearbooks and caps. Red Sox yearbooks and caps. And we got both.
Man.
Yeah, no.
It sounds like
great.
one
I still
word.
have that. I still have that somewhere. And
Mike,
if
you had a question
if you
for Tom.
If you have a Red Sox, like a penchant for the Sox, if you go on YouTube and look up the Clearly Not in Massachusetts Masshole, that's one of my characters. He's called the Clearly Not in Massachusetts Masshole. In episode 1, I actually go to Dodger Stadium and I see one of the World Series games with the Sox and the Dodgers. So that's a great view. It's a fun episode.
Dude, back in 99, I was in the luxury box seat with the Herald, and I watched the All-Star game.
Herald.
It was wicked pisser. It's
That's
freaking
pisser,
awesome.
dude. That's
Yeah, we had
fucking
lobster
pisser.
rolls. They had a bathroom there. They had a pisser there. You would actually piss in. Not the
We call
trough
it
they
Tom
have there at
Brady.
Fenway
They had a
Park.
pisser? Wow.
They had a pisser. It was wicked awesome, dude. Mike, ask your freaking question, kid, will you?
All right, Tom. Can you tell us about how you bring someone from zero to hero in regards to learning a new dialect?
Just like that,
In
kid.
regards.
You did it. You freaking graduated, kid.
That's great. In regards. Yeah. Can you tell us about how you bring someone from zero to hero?
Well, yeah, a
you know-
new person just trying to learn. Say I don't know how
Yeah.
to do British accent, which I am terrible at. How would you take a student from being awful to helping them out, making them passable?
Right. Number one thing, not to pick on you or the semantics or not recognizing that you're probably speaking somewhat in jest, is anytime you enter into a learning environment or a learning journey, the thinking that we are terrible before we begin anything has got to go. So the first thing is we're not terrible. We've begun. And while we begin and while we enter into an inescapable sequence of the stages of learning, right?
You've
So
entered
initial
the stages of
let's see if I
learning.
can. You've entered the stages.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah. So you start. Where's my finger? There it is.
It's at the end of your
Let's go
Played
hand.
that game when I
backwards.
was in high school.
So this. Where's my finger?
He had a
It's a
rose
very
grab,
fun
flip
game.
it upside down for Mike in high school.
Right. So we start over here at initial learning. And then
I'm sorry,
immediately, yeah, that's better. Thank you. So, and it's backwards, so I gotta operate like a Muppeteer here. Anyway, so we start by initially being introduced to something. Almost immediately, we're gonna get into what's called the awkward use phase. This is when somebody doesn't have a good teacher, or an inattentive teacher might be a good teacher, but inattentive. In the awkward phase, they might feel like they're wrong, they might feel like they're bad, they might feel like they suck, and all of these various other stinking thinking. So I make sure that people realize that this is something that they're going to experience, and it's a normal phase to go through before they go to get to a point where they oh geez, there we go. Get to a point that they can do it consciously. This is actually a cool place to be as a voiceover artist. For me, it's kind of like a level that I'm comfortable calling myself at the conscious use phase in various dialects. If I'm going to do it, like, for example, in an audiobook, then I'm reading at my own pace, and I know that when I go to my mic, I might be, on my own clock. But I would probably want to get to the natural use phase in a genre like video games, where it's so much of a cold reading genre. You're often brought in for a role that you don't even know what role you booked often, and you certainly don't have the script in advance for myriad reasons. Yeah, so the number one thing is getting the thinking right. And then, Mike, further answering your question, I tend to approach it from, there's another visual that I have. Actually, I have that here, too. Usually with a dialect, you're going to start with sounds. I know that sounds obvious, but nothing's really obvious until you test it. Here's the, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you see this wheel here, spot number 1.
Yeah.
Is that says a 1 in that red. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the sounds. Yeah. Number 2 would be the musicality of a dialect. So, for example, a sound consideration would be, in an Irish dialect, for example, the long I of a word like knife or right becoming knife and right. But the rhythmicality of the dialect, the musicality of the dialect, if the Irish dialect doesn't have the up and down sort of lilt to it, it doesn't sound like itself. Right? And then finally, stage 3. Shit. Stage 3.
Stage 3 shit is...
that you got to be able to act
that's the worst kind.
in the dialect.
That's the worst kind of shit.
Right? I think it's important to get to what I call video game readiness. Video game readiness means that I've worked on the sounds, I know the musicality of the dialect, I can act. In other words, I can do the full range of emotion in the dialect without having to worry that it will suffer. And then I can do that in a cold reading scenario with no interim steps, such as taking the text and adjusting it to I call it transliteration. Jim, you and I have worked on this. Taking a word like if you're saying speaker, but you're in a Bostonian dialect, changing the ER on speaker to AH so you see the word speaker. Things like that. So there's nothing wrong with transliterating, but in a cold reading scenario where you haven't been provided the script in advance and you're going in and you need to produce the dialect from scratch with no time, and plus you're running a ton of lines in your session. You really, in order to promote yourself with dialect work in a cold reading genre like video games, I think that's the ultimate test. So, long-winded way, and now the Cliff Notes version of the answer, Mike. Mindset first, or mindset alongside with the initial phases and introduction of the sounds. Sounds, musicality considerations, the full range of emotion, working on text, working on monologues and things of that nature. Then putting ourselves to the test of maybe embracing a transliteration step in between, and then really trying to make sure that the person can lift it off the page in dialect, in character, especially if they aspire to that particular genre like video games.
Cool.
You know, Tom, we have a lot of questions in the chat that I'd like to
Great.
get to, but I also just want to throw this up real quick. Tom is going to be doing a workshop with us coming up on
Yes, indeed.
May 17th. So if you want to get tickets for that and you know, get in on it, go to microphoneinsider.com. The J. Michael one is only auditor tickets available for next week, but as you can see, we have Malik Berger coming up and Kristen Paiva and Jessica Blue. Jessica Blue is going to go off the rails.
You basically want to
Kristen
do
Paiva
every
may go
one
off
of
the
those.
rails.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to do every one of those.
And
Those are
remember,
awesome.
all the money that comes in, all the proceeds, we pay our coaches, and all the profits go right back to you guys, to running the show, to getting tickets. By the way, we're getting more passes for Dallas this year and Atlanta next year. There's a lot going on. We are going to have our 25 days of Christmas and a whole lot more. So, yeah,
I love it.
here we go. We have a lot of questions, so if we can keep these, you know, 2 or 3 minutes
Yeah.
each, that'd be cool. All right,
Sure.
cool. We have Andrew Ward had a couple of auditions today asking for a Southern accent. I can pull one off, but should these be left to those who speak with a native accent, or is it fair game? Before we get there, Tom, I just want to thank you. Southern accent brought it up. Tom taught me Southern. More specifically, he taught me for Steel Magnolias, and I became a voice dialect coach for a local play. And the best compliment I got was an old lady sitting next to me said, "Did I hear that you were a coach and did that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "She's from that part of the South." And she said, "The only person that screwed up was me." And I said "can" instead of "can." You know, I mispronounced one word, but everybody else on the set was awesome. So back to
happened?
Andrew's question. Do
That's
we
fantastic.
is this fair game? I mean, what we're doing fair game, or should we put that out there just for Southern speaking native people?
Yeah. Okay. So Andrew has Andrew has asked me what time it is, but I'm going to tell him how the clock worked because this is too important a question to answer casually
Yes or
or
no. Yeah.
flippantly. Number one, every voiceover artist has to know where their line is. What is appropriate to go after and what isn't. In the time that we're in, a time that you could call the authentic casting era of voiceover, post-Apu era of voiceover. The responsibility has been taken by a great number of actors, finally, and casting. And finally, the slow-moving locomotive that starts with an inch or two to the right has now finally taken a wider turn toward authentic casting as it should be. So, I believe, these are my beliefs because I've established where my line is. I definitely want to promote and heavily lean into my American roots. So a general American is my everyday speaking voice. It's a coastal influence general American. So obviously I'm going to leverage that. I grew up in Boston. I have a wicked Bostonian dialect. I'm definitely going to freaking use that one.
Freaking awesome, dude.
I spend...
Tell your mother I said hi,
ton of
by the way.
I will. My mother. Ma! Jim says hi. Jim Frank. You can't hear me. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
I spent a ton of time in New York, so I feel I can lay claim to that. I spent half my life in California, paying California taxes, and I feel I can lay claim to a California sound. All of that I can do without batting an eye. They are mine to claim. That is my life history. I'm Italian and I'm Irish. I feel I am ethnically Italian, ethnically Irish. Now, I didn't grow up around those sounds, but there's no denying I'm Irish. There's no denying I'm Italian, and I need not think about those things. So now, that's where I can go without any consideration. Then I say to myself, what's my responsibility beyond that? All of that is how I self-identify. I think my responsibility now is, does anyone look like this there, right? If there is a good, high probability of chance that there are people that look like my complexion, look like me, I could transplant there very easily and you'd believe it. On camera, let's say, right. You know, if you'd cast me on camera, then it's worth studying it. But it's only worth saying that you can do it and do it accurately if you can do it accurately, respectfully, and just as well as anybody else, fully representing the spirit and the culture that we're talking about. So, while I may not have a lot of the same opinions as a lot of people in the South, I know a great deal about the history of the South. I know a great deal. I've traveled throughout the South. I know 7 different Southern dialects. I can do them with spot-on accuracy. And I have a ton of friends who I have vetted myself against and said, this is what, and they go, yeah, that's accurate. When I feel that I can do that, I feel that I can add that to the list. And that's how I feel about really every region of the United States, which is my country, which I've devoted my life to, which I've devoted a great deal of money to and support to, which I cry over and weep over, and which I celebrate when they get things right. That's my country. So if it's pretty much in the lower 48 and I can match it and there are people that look like this there, I'm going after it. And I'm happy to lose to a native speaker if the native speaker is a better performer than me, because it isn't just the sound, because the sound is half the battle. The other half is the acting and the awesomeness and the truly the excellence, right? So that leaves other regions of the world where there are people that look like this. So we could maybe rope in something like France or the UK and Australia and things of that nature that, match what you're looking at here. Again, I hold myself to the same standard. Now, I am for the first time going outside my own country, so is it mine to go after? Well, for the UK and for Australia, it was pretty easy for me. And the reason was, there's a ton of people that look like me there who are from the UK, from Australia, learning a general American and taking my jobs. So all's fair in voice and war, right?
Truth.
So I'm just, but again, only if I can do it, and only if I can do it accurately, and only if I can do it with respect. And I am a lifelong Anglophile, a lifelong Francophile, and a lifelong lover of Australian culture. And I can bring that passion and that love there, and a spot-on, dead-on accuracy spent through years of study. That's my standard to the question that they asked. And the only
if you study with Tom, if you study with Tom, there's a small delay here, Tom. Sorry. If you study with Tom, it's amazing to listen to him pick apart a dialect or an accent. And we talked about the South. He said, "What do you want? Western Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, you want Tennessee, you want Louisiana, you want Deep South, you want the Upper Panhandle, you want the Lower Keys." What do you? I just want a Southern accent, Tom. I don't know what I want. I guess.
Right.
But yeah, his knowledge is amazing when it comes to this. Heidi likes hot dogs. Good. Okay. We have a lot of questions. This is kind of off topic here, Tom.
Yes, I love that they're with me on the no ketchup on the hot dogs. I will say finally,
it's the Frankfurter Insider, by the way. We actually
quick
talked
answer
about
is
tubular meats.
The quick answer on the very important question is tubular meats. That's awesome. The quick answer on the very important question is have a line, make sure you can back it up, that you've considered it and that you live by it. The one exception I have to say is the single narrator audiobook, right? That's where we're going to give voice to opposite gender, people of LGBTQIA plus status that doesn't match our own, all forms of ethnicities and accents and dialects. And in those moments, I feel that the duty when you're going after something in a single narrator audio, or not when you're going after, when you are voicing something in a single narrator audiobook that you wouldn't go after, for example, in an animated show, I believe that you should up wherever your standards are. Mine are very high. I think you should go even higher at that point. That you are not doing something that is cartoonish, and obvious and disrespectful, and maybe run it up the flagpole of a colleague that is of that niche of the world or society. If I could totally see myself needing to give voice to somebody who is not white or somebody who's black in a single narrator audiobook and running it up Terry's flagpole and saying, "Terry, what do you think? Did I get close? I feel duty bound to do a good job here." and I would trust him to assess it. So yeah, great question.
Cool.
Probably one of the most important to ask in dialect study, in my opinion.
Well, I guess
And
we just
Julie
blew our
asked,
load.
"Did
That's
I
it. We're
enjoy the
done.
book sign?" Yeah. See ya.
That's
I
it. Thanks
loved
for
the
joining
book
us, guys.
signing.
My thought, Jim, is Southern. Just go full Foghorn Leghorn for every single region.
Say.
Now listen here, son.
And there's son.
Nice kid, but about as sharp as a bowling ball.
Don't let the
I
snake
love
suit
that.
fool you, son. That's a dog. Did you
Yeah,
enjoy the
I'm a
book signing
chicken
last
hawk.
week?
I did. Yes, I
Cool.
went to see Gregory Maguire, the author of Wicked and the various other Wicked books that was adapted into the musical and adapted into the film. So that was beautiful. Wicked came out in 1995, 30 years ago, and I was able to let him know after 30 years of him being a real literary hero of mine, I could let him know how I felt, and I got emotional, and I told him how much he meant to me, and
Cool.
what the story meant to me, and it was great. And I took a picture, and he signed every one of my books. I got like eight
Beautiful.
Gregory Maguire books signed.
Tom, you got emotional?
Yes, I know.
I don't.
Who
I
knew?
never heard of that. I never
Yeah,
Stop
heard
it.
about Tom getting emotional.
I know, right?
Rob wants to know, are you going to be sad when the San Francisco Giants beat the White Sox all year?
Oof.
I'm happy to say, Rob, that I have no skin in that. I have no dog in that race.
I got no skin on that hot dog.
I don't know. Yeah, right. I got no
But you do
skin
get
on
mustard.
that tubular meat.
Man.
Tony doesn't like mustard, I guess. All right, fair
Oh
enough.
God.
All right.
All right, Tracy's got to make her way to Revere for one of those famous Kelly roast beef sandwiches, she says.
What this
Fucking
is
it.
just meat talk.
Tracy, you gotta give
So
me a
much meat
friggin'
talk.
call. We gotta head on up to the North Shore, head on up to Revere, get some roast beef friggin' sandwiches. It's gonna be fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, stop in Medford, too. Say hi to Vinny for
Yeah,
me.
stop. Stop off in Meffa.
In Medford. I said it, Medford.
We're gonna head on up north on the 495 and through Aya, Andover, Worcester, Bedford, the Berkshires,
Haverhill,
Haverhill,
God.
Sudbury.
Gloucester,
It's
Worcester.
actually-
I really hope there is some
Sorry, there's no more questions. We're just gonna start naming New England towns from
New
now
England
on,
town.
so-
That's all we're gonna do.
Woburn,
Goddamn,
The
Stone.
rest of the show.
North Andover,
Regular
Martha's
Andover,
Vineyard,
Dan
Martha's
Lawrence.
Vineyard. I still think
All right, let's get back to a
fucking
real question.
Leechmere, Grover Cronin, and Caldors was the funniest
Caldors.
part of this
Don't
session.
forget, don't
Fucking
forget about
Caldors.
Bradley's kid.
Bradley's. You gotta get
Terry,
a nice
take it
pair
away.
of dungarees over at Grover Cronin.
You got to go over to Sears first and get the husky
Right.
jeans for the kid. Because the
Shelley
kid's a
says-
little
Right, all
puffed up.
right, all
You
right.
forget
Reel it in, boys. Reel it in.
Kelly says Billerica is Bricka dude.
Bricka.
And-
Bricka,
and Denim.
dude.
Cindy Burns wants to know, when just beginning to study a dialect, is there a best dialect to start with?
Cindy, thank you for bringing us back to a professional topic.
Did she, though? Did she, though?
I hope so, and I hope it takes root.
And the answer is
It's a great
blasting.
question, Cindy. It's a great thing. I taught ballroom dancing for a number of years, and I would often get the question, what's the best ballroom dance to start with? And the answer I found over many years is whichever one gets you excited to study it. So the best dialect is the one that makes you excited to study dialects, particularly if you're the type of person who is daunted by it, which of course in ballroom dancing I got a lot of that too. People wanted to dance and they were daunted by it, didn't think they could, didn't feel like they could participate, and felt bad about that. So the best answer to that question is the one that gets you excited. If we adjusted it to, is there a potentially most valuable dialect to start with? I think you could make a strong argument that RP, the British dialect, for a general American-speaking person would be a great place to start. or the general American dialect for a British speaker or for a foreign accented speaker would be a very great place to start. Because I kind of think of those Gen Am and RP. RP means received pronunciation. Gen Am short for General American. I think those two are the you could kind of think of them as the parent dialects, and then a lot of the other dialects they're like Gen Am except this. They're like RP except they do this, you know. So if you have that base, the other ones I find tend to get easier until you encounter what I call a nemesis dialect, and back in ballroom dancing, what I would call a nemesis dance, right? So if you learned salsa because it got you interested, and then you learned rumba and cha-cha because they're in the family of salsa, and then you said, you know, I really want to try tango, and then tango proves to be your nemesis, doesn't mean you did a bad job, doesn't mean you're a bad dancer, doesn't mean tango's tough. It's just tough for you, right? And eventually there'll be one in your journey that will present more challenges than the rest, than the ones that preceded or the ones that may follow. And I call that a nemesis. And I don't think you should shy away from your nemesis one. It's just let yourself know and give yourself grace that it's going to take longer. Mine was Australian, and it was a beast, and I didn't give up. It took me years and 4 coaches to get it.
Wow.
And other
That's
ones I taught
dedication,
myself.
man.
So
That's dedication. Heidi, and speaking of salsa, it seems like Heidi's putting salsa on her hot dogs almost. She's very
Wow.
picky about her dogs, only at the ballpark. Ketchup
Okay.
with chopped white onions or mustard with sweet pickle relish.
okay, so Heidi, I enjoy a lot of what's going on here. I must take issue with the ketchup.
Gotta keep that ketchup.
Chopped
Mustard?
white onions, abso-friggin-lutely.
Team ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm team
Or
ketchup.
as I like to say, abso-goddamn son of a bitchin'-lutely.
You know what? I
white
can't
chopped
relish the thought of having ketchup on
Oh
my.
Lord, you got Jim
I
going
can't
off.
muster
No.
up the.
All of you
Stop.
need
Stop.
to listen.
You need to muster up a couple more of those jokes.
Oh God.
My mother and father love sweet pickle relish and mustard. So,
If you're just
they have
joining
made
us,
me
you
a
have to
hot
catch
dog,
up.
Forgotten themselves and thrown that on there,
God.
and I've eaten it, and they are enjoyable. But I am mustard only or mustard with white chopped onion. Good idea. Now I'll tell you what's a travesty: a goddamn red onion on a hot dog. Oh my God.
Tom,
Who
I got a
in their right
dialectical question
mind-
for you. A hot dog based dialectic question.
Yes.
I know you don't like ketchup, but what are your thoughts on catsup?
Cats.
I know.
Ketchup. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Yeah.
All right, Terry. It's
Catsup's
up
a
to you
real
to
thing.
bring us back now, Terry.
It's always. Why is it always up to me, Tom? You
I don't
were on
know.
this fantastic show, and as a Lakers
Yes.
fan, and you being a Celtics fan, it means a lot to us, right? Can you
Right.
tell us? Can you talk about how you got on
Larry
Winning Time
Bird,
and
man.
give us
Oh,
Magic Johnson?
Tom Brady.
What a wall-to-wall wonderful
Fucking
experience.
Kevin fucking
this
McHale,
show was.
dude.
Yeah, Winning Time on HBO. I was in the first season. This is a very, very, very cool show. I hope everybody who hasn't seen it tunes in and watches. This was a wall-to-wall wonderful experience. So I am an on-camera actor. I don't do much on camera anymore, but my agents know. We have a policy at my agency that if the specs could basically be, you know, like Tom Antonellis, then they send me the audition. And I loved it. It was just a one-line audition. I ended up getting 3 or 4 lines in the show because I think they enjoyed me, and we started to improvise, and they kept some of it. So,
Your
but
scene
it was going to be
great,
a
man.
co-star, a one-line co-star, like a little punchline sort of role. But there are no small roles, only small actors. So I was very happy to go up for that, and the line was in the audition. The line was "Wicked shooter, huh?" Because I was reacting to listening to the game on the radio. Wicked shooter, huh? And it might not even have been wicked in the script. It might have been awesome or something. But I think
He was
I
a
don't
very
know. I
good
don't remember
shooter,
it.
eh?
Yes, he was a very good shooter, was he not?
Yes, he was
The
not.
wicked
He was
shooter,
not.
huh?
Perchance,
I think that was
did
the
you
line.
catch
Anyway.
that man's shooting ability?
So this
It was
yes,
wicked.
perchance were you did you avail yourself of the opportunity to witness? So I set up a chair. I set up my camera and I sat in a chair, which I normally do not do, but I was supposed to be in the front of the limo, so I would have been seated. So I sat for it and I just kind of adjusted my rearview mirror, and then I looked up into it and said the line there, as though I was saying it into the rearview mirror behind me.
Right.
And I think that particular little, that's how it came off at the beginning of my self-tape. I saved that self-tape. And then they asked for information, so I kind of did a text card with my information on it. And then, for shits and giggles, I actually went into my car and I set up my camera in the back seat of my car. So I just, before closing off the self-tape, I just did this. I turned around and said, "Wicked shooter, huh?" And then it just faded to black. So it was like this little bit of
That's really good.
Fucking
production
Tom Spielberg
value,
over there.
on my
Beautiful.
self-tape. And I booked it in record time. They did that cool thing of putting you on a veil and then telling you that you're going to be reviewed for whatever, what do they call it? Network review, which is basically they're looking at your social media and determining you're not an asshole. And then my scenes were with Payman Benz. I'm sorry, the director was Payman Benz, and you can follow him on social media. He's a really great director, and he believed a great deal in improvisation. So he let me really go off. He asked me, is there anything else you would want to say? And I turned around. I said my father would be like, "Oh fuck," like if something went wrong in the game. He goes, "Yeah, let's get an oh fuck or two," and it was just, it was wonderful. Got a great trailer and
Nice.
Came in for a fitting and here was a really cool thing. They brought me into hair and makeup, and they did want me to grow out some sideburns. I can't remember exactly what my face looked like or whether I kept the mustache, but I think I might have done just sideburns and mustache because it's a period piece, and 70s and late 70s and 80s, and they shaved me a little bit, but I had grown out a beard because I thought that they should have the option. And then they told me that they didn't want to make me up. And I had a little hiccup of panic. I was like, oh, my skin is so flawed. I have a lot of hang-ups about my skin. And they weren't going to make me up. And the last time I had done some TV work, I wept in the friggin' makeup chair because the guy made me look so normal and made me feel so good. And here they actually wanted my imperfection because they felt it was really good for the character. And they were right. I so look like a Bostonian, probably maybe an alcoholic Bostonian Irish guy. It just looked right, and they were in the lighting.
It just looks
they
right.
just knew what they
does.
were talking about. And it took some, it was nowhere near like doing a nude scene or anything, but it did take a little bit of courage for me to go there and know that there would be nothing between me and the mic. Me and the mic. Talk about a voiceover.
There's nothing
me
between
and the
us as
camera.
it is, Tom.
Nothing between me and the camera. Is what I meant.
Hey, Tom,
But it was great. We had a period.
Did they let you bring your own? Did they let you
limousine
bring your
and
own
stuff.
hat, or did they have a stunt hat?
They no. I had a chauffeur's cap. Yeah.
That's funny.
They shot on film.
Hey,
They shot video. They shot film. They had a 16 millimeter Bolex, shooting 16 millimeter film on that shoot.
Yeah, you can
And
tell.
my
You
scene
can
was with
definitely
Jason
tell.
Clark. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they could have done that. They could have done a post effect to make those things look like film, but they actually shot that on film,
That's awesome.
which is so cool. Jason Clark was the one I did the scene with, and we had a blast. And he was in character the whole time, and he turned to me. He goes, "Oh, you really from Boston?" I said, "Well, what do you think?" Right? He goes, "Yeah, it sounds like it." And we ran into
you're
each
really
other
from
when we were
Boston.
done
Shut
at
the
end
hell
of
up,
the day.
dude. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
He,
Hey, fuck you.
and he did. He gave me the
fuck
finger
you.
a couple of times because he was playing a real asshole. But at the end of the day, I said, "Hey, Jason, thank you so much." And he goes, "Oh yeah, thanks, Mike." And I was like, oh, "Shit, that guy's Australian. That's right." He
That's
was not
funny.
Australian all day long, and I was
No
not
kidding.
my Gen Am all day long. So we had our same, same like staying in character.
That's funny.
Standards.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a great actor, Jason Clark.
He's a good actor. Let's get this last question. This is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Raven Harry Carlo. Sorry if I butchered that. Do you have any recommendations for working with a lisp?
Yes. I mean, working with one as in leveraging one, or working with one as in minimizing one or eliminating one. I kind of feel like the what somebody else might consider a hang up, you could turn into a superpower. I think that what we maybe used to be called a speech impediment, I think nowadays, you should just simply call your voice. And if you have the desire to expand and do something different with your voice, a dialect coach can sometimes teach you how to do that, and a speech therapist can sometimes teach you how to do that, but it may also be something that you can turn on and off. I kind of feel about impediments or quirks of speech the way I feel about a native accent. I never want somebody who comes to me for accent reduction, for example, to feel like I am that I'm going to reduce them. I don't believe in reducing artists. I believe in expanding artists. I don't believe in elimination. I'm not in the business to eliminate people. I'm in the business to lift people up. I don't believe in erasing an accent. I'm not in the business of erasing. I'm in the business of adding. So every one of those people, if they come to me using those words, I immediately going to say, well, I can do what you're asking for because I know what you're asking for, but I'm not going to do it under the concept of you erasing yourself, removing yourself, eliminating yourself, reducing yourself. That goes contrary to my beliefs. So we can teach you a general American dialect, which you can then embrace and choose to do, provided you feel that it's right for you to do it, provided you've established your line like we discussed earlier. And if indeed, for example, I'm thinking about one of my Italian clients, a guy born in Italy, came to America, is an American citizen, has an American wife, gave birth to an American daughter. I said is an American citizen, pays American taxes in an expensive American city, has an Italian accent, absolutely a great actor and phenomenal actor, and absolutely should be considered for more roles than just, henchman, mafia henchman. And
Right.
so gifted, and I taught him how to do it, and we would get emotional periodically, and he finally said, I kind of feel like I'm finally an American. Not because he'd lost his Italian identity, but because he achieved an American sound. And he felt like he could participate in his art form far more deeply than he could before. So if that lisp that we're talking about, Raven, is something that you feel holds you back, I think we all, whether we realized it or not, when we became actors or voiceover artists or voice actors, however you call yourself, I think you signed up for a journey of self-discovery and self-expansion for the rest of your life, whether you realized it or not, because that's the only way, and certainly nowadays in a competitive field, that's the only way you can last. You're always learning, always a student, always growing, always embracing, always expanding, never reducing. To me, that's this art form. That's the job. And if it includes taking a lisp and getting control of it, if it includes an accent and adding a dialect to it, or if it includes finally being able to let go, and if it includes being brave enough to show your true skin, if it includes facing something about yourself that is tough.
True.
That's the job.
Very true. Very true. Tom, we could go on for hours. You guys, that we didn't get your questions, come to Tom's event. Hang out.
Yes.
If you if we have auditor tickets and people that are auditors will have a chance in the Q&A to speak up and ask questions as well. So check it out at themicrophoneinsider.com. Now, before we go, Tom, we have to put this to bed finally. This is heating up more than pizza than pineapple on pizza. This has gotten insane. Julie, she's Canadian, so we'll let this.
She's Canadian.
We'll let this
That's
pass.
Right.
She's Canadian. We'll let it pass.
No.
What's the tariff on that? No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say
50%
this.
tariff on that one.
Yeah, we're not.
All right, let's see here. Team Ketchup. Lots
Mike
of Team
Cunningham.
Ketchup here.
I live in the Lehigh Valley. Pennsylvania is a ketchup country.
Wow.
We like our ketchup. We like our catsup. And we like to eat things weird.
There you go, Cindy. That's
There
what
you
I'm
go,
talking about.
Cindy.
Let's go.
Tony, we know how you feel. Cindy wants to know what? No lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. Cindy, stop it. Try to be funny.
Stop it. No.
Stop it.
That's like
Stop
a
it now.
Chicago dog.
It's getting out of control.
So
Hold
you
on.
gotta, the
Hold
Bears, we gotta do a Chicago
Here
dog
we go.
with lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
Chicago, yeah.
This
What
one's out of
about-
control. This one's
I know.
the garbage plate. Potato salad, baked beans on a hot dog.
No.
What the hell's going on here?
That's just no.
You know what, Sharon? I'd try it. I would try it. How about this? How about a hot dog with a loaded baked potato, tater tot, flatbread, pizza patty thing on top of it?
Oh, now you're talking.
All
Now
right.
you're talking.
Oh, no.
Callback.
We're talking about
It's a
artisanal
callback.
dogs now. All right, these are.
That is awesome.
This is some hipster.
Wow, we should. If Terry and Tom can
garbage
cook
plate.
it, we need a new song,
God.
Mike. We need a new
Hashtag
song.
No, we'll never get another song.
All right, I can give up ketchup. It's so offensive.
Hashtag loaded baked potato, tater tot, flatbread, pizza patty thing.
Oh, my
Bam.
God.
Let's go.
All right. Here, have you ever tried a dog with mac and cheese on it? A little bit of crushed up potato chips and some jalapenos. That is amazing.
Actually, that sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
Sounds delicious. With no ketchup.
With
No ketchup, no,
ketchup.
nothing like
with
that.
crumbled bacon
Crumbled potato
bits.
chips. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I like crumbled potato chips. Yeah, just don't eat ketchup. End of story. Thanks, Tabs. She's right on. She'll bring the
Tabs
bread.
gets
That's
it.
awesome.
She gets it.
You're a goddamn traitor. And I'm gonna eat my hot dog on plain white Stroman bread with ketchup.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
What?
Mike, that is
DF
that
Raisin
is
has
about
just
the
dropped the
most
barbecue
blue-collar
sauce.
thing you've ever said.
Oh, ketchup,
Yeah.
mustard, barbecue sauce, onions, and
that's a-
sweet relish.
Ketchup,
We call-
mustard, barbecue sauce, onions,
We call that
sweet
the
relish.
Tom. We call that
Jeez.
the struggle dog.
Yeah.
The white bread. The white bread.
Yes.
Dog? Come on. now.
one slice. You know what it is, Mike? The struggle dog is the end of a,
Oh,
of
yeah,
a
yeah,
white
yeah,
bread,
yeah.
Wonder
That's the
Bread
gourmet
loaf
Where you
That's
got
how you get away
the
with
you got the nub.
with the end, right? And
Struggle dog.
and
Struggle
a
dog.
ketchup packet,
That was the
and a
name of my
ketchup
first
packet,
porn.
Oh God! No
and a
wonder.
ketchup
Oh, my God.
packet from a local store because the ketchup's free. That's
I
what you
love it.
call a struggle dog.
What? No one said
God. We're
ramen
talking-
yet. I'm surprised.
Oh,
Listen.
college was ramen wall to wall for me.
Yeah, me
Have
too.
you have you had?
I
Have you done
survived.
this? The SpaghettiOs with the chopped up hot dog inside.
Yes,
Right.
Okay,
yes,
keep the
there,
SpaghettiOs just regular spaghetti with hot dogs.
yes. I've
Yeah.
done
No,
that.
no. That makes it
Yeah,
Italian.
that.
Sharon. Stroman bread. Oh my God!
All right, hot dog tasting contest at Uncle Roy's this year.
Oh, we can
Let's
do
been
that.
do
thrown
it. Let's
down.
do it.
Let's do it. Let's do
The
it.
gauntlet's been thrown. Let's do
Tony
it.
was Tony's like hashtag off the rails.
Yeah, but we're still standing.
I
We
love
didn't
it.
fall over. Didn't fall over. Hey, listen, guys, we're overtime.
Yeah.
I can do this all night, but I do have to go. We have things going on. Life happens. Thank you so much for being a part of the Inside. Tom, God, I can't even... It went by like that, and there's so much more to talk about. Again, if you want to work with Tom, you can get through him through TomAntonellisVO.com. I highly recommend it. Lots of people here have trained with you, and you've taken my RP to a different level. You've taught me how to say "you're" and "fur" so I can sound like I'm not from Boston. You've helped me dig into the Southern. You helped me dig into my Boston and compare it how New York and RP they all tie together. You know,
Yeah.
when you work with Tom, you see how how all these languages all tie together. So I highly recommend it. And if you want to do it in a group setting, I'm going to throw it out here again. We have our TMI workshops. Tom's coming up on May 17th. J. Michael Collins next week. We have auditor tickets available for JMC, but get your tickets for Tom. I know we have a few sold already, and we haven't really started advertising it. So get them while y'all can, okay? That was my Southern, y'all can.
Get
Tom,
while y'all
yeah.
can.
Get 'em while y'all
Thank
can.
you to all the folks and lots of folks that have studied with me in the chat that have been chiming in and sharing their experience working with me as a coach. I want to say I get to become a better actor practically every day because I work pretty much 7 days a week. When I work with my clients, I become a better actor. Jim, thank you for our time together. Terry, thank you for our time together. I love seeing those names in the chat, scrolling by, knowing that some of them are on my schedule soon. Some of them know I'm always an email away or a phone call away. The ketchup eaters, I love you too. I'm gonna have an
Screw
easier
you,
time
ketchup
coaching you with
eaters.
the mustard kinship.
I'll tell you what.
but I will coach
in June,
a ketchup
I'm making
eater.
you eat one. In June, I'm making you.
You know
eat
what?
one. It's happening.
Mike, let me
Oh,
tell you
my.
this, and guys, I really
we'll
hope
just
you'll
get
be
rid of him
at
altogether.
get
We'll
out of
just
your
keep-
booth.
We'll just keep Tom here instead. How's that? Hold on a second.
I hope
Let me
you're.
pull this
I hope
down
you're
here.
Hope you're in
Get rid of this
Pennsylvania and
crap.
get out of your booth. And Mike, I will absolutely eat a struggle dog with you at get out of your booth.
Heck yeah, we're doing that.
And thank you for that
Absolutely.
invite. I really look forward to being there.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Really is. Whatever,
Thank
Mike,
you
there
all
are.
very much.
Yeah.
This was a great, great time.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much, Tom, for
It's a good
being
time.
Yeah, man, this has
our-
been super
our
fun,
guest,
man.
yeah.
My
All right,
pleasure.
you guys have a
Awesome.
great one. I'm going to go to our little close here real quick and say goodbye. Tom, you can hang on if you want. We will be back shortly. I'm going to get rid of you here, though, for a second. I think I have another...
Get him
What's
out of
her
here.
name?
Get him out of here.
There we go. There we go. What a show we had, huh?
Oh my God, Rebecca!
It was an amazing show. It was so amazing. Look at her.
Oh, my, you guys are
Dr.
talking about hot
Hater.
dogs?
No,
No, I
not with
love
that
Rebecca.
That picture
No, I
is.
mean,
I'm so sorry, Rebecca. I didn't.
it's from Atlanta. If it's from no,
It's
this was
from something.
She posed
My
for this one.
God.
I know,
Nobody
whatever.
posted
She's
Hey
gonna
guys,
kill you so. She's
That's
gonna
an
kill you
action
so
show.
I
much.
know. I know. TMI is going to be a three-man show, a two-man, one-woman show. All right, listen. Next show we're going to have on the 17th, Kim Herndon.
Nice.
Kim Herndon, the VO Queen. Now, we were going to have her last year. We never did because she had I think her dog passed away, so we had to reschedule that. We had her for an event, which was awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting her on the show. So April 17th. If you don't know who Kim Herndon is, you really need to do some investigation. Yeah, I mean, where you been? She is casting director extraordinaire. Everything, video games, animation. She's doing commercials now. You definitely want to get on her radar, guys. Okay. Any last words, Terry?
Damn.
You're not Terry. Damn, great, Mike.
Team
Don't
ketchup.
say ketchup. Do not.
God, don't you say that ketchup.
I said it.
Don't you say that
I
ketchup.
said it.
That's what you get. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being on.